Moving on, Children's Day celebration in Nigeria on May 27th annually is dedicated to celebrate children all over the world and for adults to remember their childhood experiences. The excitement of the day is palpable as it's a special day to recognize, honor, celebrate and appreciate children. Our correspondent, Yetunde Alanamu, has more on this report.
I am Yetunde Alanamu and we are here to celebrate Children's Day, as Children's Day marks the celebration of children and also raising awareness about issues that concern them. It also helps us to appreciate that they are the futures of tomorrow.
Children are heritage of the Lord. Everything about children is special. It's a privilege working with children. I'll put it that way.
Children are said to be leaders of tomorrow, just that in our country that's not really been emulating or being in function. But children are people we actually believe in, and if we would come to another end of the description, they are a kind of a level of human that are below the adulthood. A diverse way we can access students' progress, and as teachers, having a personal relationship with them that is not outside academic environment is a way, and also in a class environment too, in communicating with them, getting to know how well they're performing in class, and also taking note of their performances in academic tests and examinations. I think those ways their progresses can be taken note of.
Student-centered method. We aim at having students that are independent, that will know both the cognitive aspects, the affective, and the other domain of education. We put all this into practice, make sure they have the head knowledge, then the skill as a result of the knowledge. And then the character must go in line with whatever they are learning, because it's very important they learn good characters.
There are various academic standards, and my teaching often depends on the subject matter and the availability of the instructional materials, and of which we have standards like the discussion standard, and we have the practical method, we have the demonstrative method. And putting this method together, I think it's a good way of interacting with the students.
The best way to contact teacher now in the current setting over here is through phone. This is fast, this is immediate, but there are many other ways. Social media had made things easy. Then they can walk up to the school if there is need. Creativity and innovative teaching is promoted by the method of teaching we employ. We make sure it is student-centered. So it's not like you go into the class as a teacher and you just pour all, you come out, not minding the participation of the student. No, we discourage that as much as we can. So the method we use is either this discussion method or demonstration method, where you have them participate in all that is being taught. We use teaching aids as much as we can. We improvise if the real ones are not available, we improvise.
Creativity is done when there is practice, and innovation is also done when there is effective communication. This actually depends on the method of teaching now, and the method of teaching is actually considered by the subject matter and the approach of the teacher. So, questions like, how was school today, and what did you do in class today? What did any teacher behave this way? Did any teacher act this way? Oh, is your notes complete? And how is this person in your class? Now, the parent is not asking for that person, probably the best student. You know, every parent wants their children to be the best. Now, asking the child about another student might not be a way of helping him compete in class, but he or she just trying to know the standard at which the child is in that class. And the problem is some students don't actually know these things. And you know why? Because some parents are too carefree not to ask. And this actually has a lot to do with the performances of students.
So you don't just teach a set of children and you leave some set behind. For one reason or the other, we have differences. We call it individual differences in education. So we take into cognizance this, and there are things we have put in place, measures. Like now we have wraparound. We call it wraparound because we go over what has been taught, that after the normal school hours, we stay behind between 2 and 4. There we identify the weak ones, and then we pay special attention to them. Take questions, exercises that were done in the morning and was not really understood. We take time to go over it. Then extramural classes for the weak ones too. And we make sure we carry them all along. The major effect is peer pressure. Some of these students don't even know who they are. They don't know what they are. So counseling is very important. You try to help them understand, identify who they are. And then from there, you move on to tell them what they should do right, what they should not do to overcome peer pressure influence.
This influence has been positive and also has been negative, but we cannot actually underestimate the fact that the society has done more harm than good for our children.
It's very, very important to know who your kids play with. Very important. We should create that atmosphere.
Now, most of our children want to belong. They want to do the things other students do. They want to get involved in things that are not too legal for academic. For example, students who goes into making money, I think would be motivated into fraud. Now, this kind of situation would not help the students break even in class. For example, definitely the academic performance would actually drop. But then somehow, I think the government is actually doing their best curbing situations like this.
The society impacting students, children, I won't say totally negative because there are still positive aspects. It's just like social media. Social media has a lot of positive value, but the negative aspect is played upon more. So I would not totally say positive or negative. I think both depends. It depends on how we use the society.
And I hope guidance and parents have learned one or two from this report, as we have to be paying more attention to our kids, and most especially for mothers to be having mother and child relation with their kids. Yetunde Alanom reporting for KAFTAN TV News.